All right, what's up, Bug Brigade? Welcome back. So this week, I just thought it might be a good time to drop a little informational segment. People been digging those. So I'm going to show you my top 5 tools for Pokemon cards because we are human. And what puts us ahead in the whole evolutionary hierarchy is our ability to make use of tools. Man uses tools. Man gets ahead. Let me show you the top 5 tools that I use to understand Pokemon cards. Let's start with my first tool, and this is by far the most well-known tool in the industry, if we're gonna call it that. And that's just TCGplayer.com. It's a classic. I mean, it's an oldie but a goodie, you know what I'm saying? The reason that this site is so useful is because it breaks down all the different sets that come out in Pokemon cards. So you can see there's even other cards on here. If you fancy some Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Super, Flesh and Blood, which I know nothing about, you can come here and check those out as well. But for us, just Pokemon. So it's Poke Time. We hover over this tab. If I go to advanced search, wow, I got all these different filters, but the one I'm most interested in are these different sets. So let's look at Battle Styles, the most recent set to have come out. Here we got all our Battle Styles product. I don't really want to see sealed product typically, so I think there is a filter for that. You can see there's some filters here on the side. So let's get rid of sealed product. Get it out of here. We ain't no scalper. And let's do market value high to low, because this will put it in order of worth. It's not all about the money, but it's all about the money. You feel me? And here we have our list. So as you can see, which I made a video just a couple days ago about alternate art cards and how wonderful they are and how happy we are to have them back. Thank you, Pokemon. They are the most popular cards in the set. They are the most valuable cards in the set, namely this Tyranitar V, this Urshifu Single Strike V Max, and then there's another Urshifu V. I actually don't think this list is comprehensive yet. Set's so new. Sometimes they don't have enough data to put the cards in proper order, so you'll see some price unavailable or currently out of stock stuff here toward the end, which is probably where that real sneaky card, Rapid Striker Urshifu V Max is hiding, because that is going to be the most expensive card in the set, if I had to guess, and it says as low as $2.99, but it's only one listing. This kind of aggregates the different places on the internet that these cards are being sold. It will give you a average market price. Now that combines all different card qualities, raw, graded, everything, but it still can give you a general idea of what the most valuable card in a set is. So let's go back to an older set, because I think that will be interesting to look at. If you go back too old, it can be a little confusing. For instance, let's go back to the base set and you'll be thinking those prices are awfully low. I thought that Charizard was worth thousands of dollars. This isn't first edition, but even still, a base set Charizard in perfect condition sells for $15K. So why does it say 576? The old sets, you just gotta keep in mind there's a lot of trash cards out there that have not been kept in good quality. And there's a lot of really low PSA grades on these old cards, and this is kind of averaging all of those. You'll probably see prices a little lower than you expected. In recent history, you might see prices higher than you expected. Let's check out Unbroken Bonds, a fun set that came out a couple years ago. A lot of tag team cards in here. You'll see a market price for this Reshiram Charizard Secret Rare Rainbow Art for $180. I love this resource, and sometimes I just love it when a set comes out to see what's in the set. Battle Styles is out now. What's in Battle Styles? When I go to buy the booster packs, I don't want to be caught off guard, because what if there's another set that I like the cards a bit more that I would rather put my money into? Come check out all the cards in the set, see which ones you're really interested in. Maybe you got a thing for Phoebe. She's cute. You just got to look at the cards and see which ones you want. It's a cool Tapu Koko VMAX, so if you are into the Alola region, that could be a fun chase card for you. If you've been playing the Sword and Shield games and you love the Urshifu, here you go. Here's your introduction to Urshifu. The rookie cards are in this Battle Styles set. Let's say you're still hot on that big Chonkachu. You want to go buy Vivid Voltage. Maybe Battle Styles doesn't really have the cards you're looking for. You just want Pikachus and Charizards. As long as the day is long. I think I messed that up. Each card set has different cards. It's obvious, but where would you go to find that out? TCG Player is your #1 source. Let's go to our #2 source. Our #2 source is PokeBeach.com. This is a vlog site that has everything Pokemon news specifically with the card game. So it's very narrow in its scope, which is very useful because even on the Pokemon YouTube channel or on other Pokemon sites, you might be getting mixed medium news from the video game, news from the Post Malone concert, 25th anniversary stuff. Some of that will be covered here, but most of this focuses on the game. Even as specific as deck construction, tips and tricks. Before new sets are released, cards will leak. A lot of times you'll see those listed here. So you can see we're getting teases of a Matchless Fighter set, which will be the next set released in Japan. I really like this source to find out what's going on before anything is made official, because the people here are very keen to rumors and leaks and things that might be happening even before the Pokemon Company has confirmed them. So they'll be pretty transparent if it is a rumor or a leak, but you could check here. Also, availability dates of different sets for store releases, it's all here. I love getting a peek at the different card arts that come out in Japan, because usually the American set will just follow a few months after. So your actual first unveiling of new cards comes in Japanese form. I didn't know this, maybe you didn't either. Great source, check it out, PokeBeach, Ultimate Pokemon Fan Site. Our source number 3, eBay. Just classic, eBay. Who hasn't sold some cards on eBay? eBay will let you know what cards are currently being sold and for what price. Let's go home. I'm sure I have a lot of recommendations here of cards I've been searching for. Here's a Psyduck Slowpoke that I might throw a bid on once it gets close to close. So here's a bunch of cards I've searched. An Uyama Pikachu PSA 9. The PSA 10 is just cost prohibitive. This is a fantastic card. Uyama's Pikachu. Look at the little wiggly squiggly border. And the Pikachu with the sad, confused face. I don't know. It's awesome. Sun smiling. What I like to do is search for a card you want. I want... what's a card that there will be a lot of? Let's say Charizard V from Champion's Path, and I want it in PSA 10. I want this because the hype has died down quite a bit. There's that Charizard VMAX shiny card that has probably garnered a lot more attention of late. Maybe there's a good deal out here for this Charizard V. Nobody's talking about Champion's Path anymore. Tons of them have come back from PSA. There's a lot of volume. I'm sure there's people trying to sell. Let's sort instead of best match by time ending soonest. So let's just do auctions. So I will just give my word of caution that the buy it now are a lot of times gold prices for a seller. I know this because I'm a seller on this site as well. So I say I have this card, I want to sell it for X amount of dollars. I don't want to sell it for any less than that. eBay will let me list indefinitely. So I'll just put the card up and say, that way when the market price reaches that value that I'm willing to sell it at, it'll be up there, somebody will see it, I could sell it. Those prices aren't always good prices because maybe the market price isn't there yet. To get the most accurate market prices is to look at auction items, because that's where you get a bidding environment, and so the actual buyers, the interested parties in that card, are the ones setting the price, not the seller. That's going to be your best way to find value. There's a Charizard V right here. This is kind of what I'm talking about. You saw one listed for $8.99 on that last screen. This one's $5.95 and it closes in an hour and 21 minutes. A lot can change in the last hour of a bid. I know this. I've seen prices double in that last hour, but this one already feels like it's reaching its completion price. I would say this thing doesn't go for more than around $700. People are probably going to get really aggressive and small bidding increments as this ends. I still feel like you might be able to get a pretty good deal here. Look at the time ending soonest and go for those items. If you bid too early, I mean, there's nothing wrong with bidding 6 days out. You just know that very unlikely you're going to be the winning bid. It might just be better to let that clock wind down to see realistically where that price might fall, and then jump in on the action right there at the end. The other thing that I love to do on eBay is to go over here on the left side. You'll see these filters and go sold items to see what has sold recently on the site. Here's the same card, just sold for $6.15. So for that $5.95 to go much higher than this, it's probably not a great investment by that buyer. So I doubt they'll let it go much higher than that. If people start to see the price climb over $6.50, let's say, those buyers will drop off. They'll probably look for other listings, try to get a better deal, because $6.15, $700 feels like our average price right now for this card. And that's telling, because I remember when this card was selling for $1,000 regularly, and that was because most people's cards were with PSA and very few had returned graded. Be careful. There's kind of that gap between the time the set is released and when people get their graded cards back. That gap could be as long as 6 to 9 months, and then after that gap you may see prices start to come down. So it's a good time to buy a year after a set's released, where it's still circulating but it has a lot of graded inventory on the market. That's a good time to buy. Using that same line of logic, we could search for something that came out a year ago, which would be Zacian Secret PSA 10 and a gold art Zacian PSA 10. It just sold for $217. I feel like that's an incredible deal. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at those sets that came out a year ago. If you're looking for graded, that prices are reasonable. Get in on an auction, get in on a bid, try it. It's fun. You might win. You might then have to pay. That's the thing. If you win, you gotta pay. So just keep that in mind. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Our next source, which is another one to use in tandem with eBay, because it actually is kind of an aggregator of eBay data, is called PokemonPrice.com. You're going to use this to track historically what the price of cards has been. Sale prices. So these are official transaction prices. Also, quick, easy way to check the population of a card. When we say population of a card, how many of that card exist out there? We're specifically referring to graded population, because who knows how much raw product is out there. Hard to say how many people have opened packs, but once they've gone through a credible institution like PSA, then they've all been documented, assigned a number, so we know how many exist. That data is made public by PSA. And then sites like PokemonPrice.com pick up that data and update it in real time. So here's that full art Charizard V Secret. There's 3,200 PSA 10s. That's a lot, y'all. That is a lot. Most are PSA 10s. That means this card was fairly easy to grade perfect. Also, so recently that set has come out, most of these cards were sent in pack fresh, not after 10 years of existing in some young boy's closet. That increases the likelihood that the card is in good condition as well. But the thing to look at here is just total population. And then you could scroll down and you can see on this chart every sale that's occurred on eBay. There's even an itemized list of those sales and prices over here. You can narrow this down. Let's say I just want to look at PSA 10 and 9 sales, because that is the majority anyway. We zoom in. Each dot represents a sale. So you'll see every so often somebody gets fleeced out of $1,500 when they should only be paying $685. This almost looks like manipulation, where a seller might be selling to themselves or someone they know to try and artificially inflate the price. Otherwise, we look and we see, okay, 650 to 700. Like I said, looking on eBay, this confirms that that should be the average price, fair market value for that card right now. Now notice over time what this chart did. When the card first came out, we're talking opening weekend, somebody paid $300 or $400 or $500 to get that thing overnighted at PSA. They might have known I pulled it the first day the set came out. If I pay a premium price to get that card back immediately, I'll have it before anyone else. I'll be the only card on the market. I could sell it for a huge markup, and they did. They sold it for $5,500. Never buy the first card that comes back from PSA with the 10. Never do it. Why would you ever do it? There's going to be tons more cards coming back in 10. Then that circulating supply will go up. Supply and demand will tell you that price will fall. Don't buy it. And if you're gonna do this from the seller end, good luck. It's risky. Price comes right back down. A couple of sales in the 2000s, and then we see a lot in the thousands, slowly coming down. Like I said, this was when I was checking fairly regularly. This is in November, October. Card selling for $1,000 consistently. I don't know what this gap in data is, honestly. Don't know. I'm sure cards sold in this time period. Don't know why it's not being picked up. Could have been an issue with the site. Falls all the way down to the 600 level, and it has been 5 months. So wait for that inventory to come. Don't be quick to run out and get a PSA 10 of a set that just came out. If you can get MSRP prices, just buy packs, because one, it's fun to open packs. 2, you might pull the card you're looking for, then you send it into PSA. It's not that hard. Plenty of videos telling you how to do it. Maybe I'll make one soon. So be careful. Let's look at another card on here. This is the Pikachu for Vivid Voltage. Notice the drop off on the population. That's temporary because this card came out 3 months more recently than that Charizard from Champion's Path. So this population is going to start to shoot up in the next 3 months. There's probably several thousand of this card at PSA right now just sitting there waiting to get graded because they have long wait times. They're in the queue. They will in 5-6 months all be back to their owner. Half of those people are going to try and sell them to make a quick buck. You're going to see this population spike, and this card is going to go down in value. Now, long term, I think this is still a card everyone's going to want. It's the most iconic Pikachu card to come out in years. But I'm just saying, if you want a better deal and you don't want to pay $1,400, $1,300 for this, wait 3 months and pick it up, same as that Charizard V, because these prices are pretty similar, right, to what we saw the Charizard V going for. Pick it up for $600, and then you'll probably see that slow, gradual appreciation over the next several years. It won't be a huge spike, but it will just be a slow growth. Let's look at one more, a card that I think is one of the most iconic cards of the Sun and Moon era, the Tag Team Latios alternate art. Man, this population is low. And here's what we know about this set. Team Up came out 2 years ago now. There's not a ton of these cards at PSA waiting to get graded. People either had already sent it in, or the people that bought packs and opened this card were not collectors. They were just kids. Keep in mind, this was before the Pokemon boom. A lot of these Team Up packs just sat in stores on shelves for a really long time. I remember going to a card shop when they would have every set that came out in Sun and Moon in their little, booster pack gizmos that you could just say, I want 3 Team Up, 2 Unbroken Bonds, 1 Celestial Storm. You could choose a smattering of packs, whichever ones you wanted from that era, because they weren't flying off the shelves. They would sit there for a while. So a lot of kids bought these, a lot of what was the core demo of Pokemon before the scalpers and the business boys showed up. That means those kids aren't going to get them graded. They were just buying them for kicks, for giggles, to play their friends in the game. The origin of the hobby. That's good for those who are interested in collecting this card, because that is a low population. This is one of the best cards in that set, Team Up. You'll see the price has gone exponential of late in the last couple months. That is because the alternate arts are awesome. They were slept on. Took people a little while to realize how cool they are. Now they're releasing some more. Maybe people are looking back and thinking, ooh, I need those alternate arts. Also, this card has a seasonal spike in February because everyone wants to give a Heart Latios to their lover for Valentine's Day. That could also have something to do with the spike. So when you compare populations of that card versus this card, you're thinking, boy, if I could land a PSA 10 Latios, I'd be one of 200 people to have one. That gives you a lot more control over that price. So I recommend these alternate arts, these tag team cards from Sun and Moon. Give them a look. Okay, our next source is one of my favorites because I love the art on Pokemon cards. I collect these cards mostly because I think of them as little canvases, canvi. Those canvases contain my favorite whimsical creatures, and the artists that Pokemon is hiring to illustrate these creatures are some of the best artists in the world. So these are literal pieces of art, and that's something that sports cards or other collectible memorabilia doesn't have, in my opinion, quite to the extent that Pokemon does. I remember a card that came out fairly recently. It was an Eevee Snorlax card. Very unique, iconic artwork. This came in a tin. So I come on here, I search it, there it is. What an amazing looking card. I want to know who drew this so I can see what other things they've illustrated for Pokemon. Turns out to be Tomokazu Komiya. I click on him. All of the artwork from this artist shows up here, and I can look through all of it and realize, wow, yes, this is a truly talented individual, and I'm obsessed with their artistic style. Scroll down to the bottom, you'll see some pagination to see how many cards this illustrator has worked on. We go way back, all the way to Neo Genesis. This person has been with Pokemon for a very long time. In fact, some of my favorite cards come in the Skyridge era. Let's see if there are some Skyridge cards in here. Here we go. These cards were just bonkers, man. Look at this Dugtrio. That's just a phenomenal looking card. I just can't believe some of the treatments here. That Ditto even. It's in a cave with little inscriptions on the wall. So I learned a lot about the artistic progression of this hobby through pkmncards.com. One note here, if you're looking for an artist specifically, you'll have to put in the artist : before the artist's name with a dash in between first and last name. So another artist that I love is Uyama. If I do artist : Uyama, all of Uyama's cards pop up. So there we go. Can look through. I can then find which cards I need to buy to complete an illustrator set, which I think is one of the coolest things you can collect in the hobby. All the cards of one particular illustrator. For that last artist that I was looking at, Komiya, that would be hard to do because there are a lot of cards, 204 cards that I would have to collect. But it's a goal. It's a reach goal. You can also look up cards by set. So here's the Skyridge set that I said has some of the most phenomenal looking art in all of Pokemon cards. These cards are extremely expensive because of this. Everyone is interested in this set also because I think it's the last WotC set, Wizards of the Coast, which was the manufacturer, producer of these cards until Pokemon Company bought them back or started doing their own production of the cards. I think that's the case, but could be wrong there. Some really stunning cards here. Look at this Gyarados. I mean, you don't see a lot of cards that haunting, honestly. It's dark, but it's good. You feel me? That's really all I got. 5 sources. We got TCG Player, PokeBeach, eBay, Pokemon Price, and PKMN Cards. Be sure to check all those out. Hopefully this was informational and will help you on your journey to becoming a pro collector. Like me, doing this on the side as I work a regular 9-to-5 job. That's the dream. Have a wonderful day. Bug Brigade, peace out.
Pull the shiny Charizard, I'm feeling so alive, yeah. I am like a legendary flying through the sky, yeah. Put you in a binder, you know I could treat you right, yeah. Leaves on top of sleeves, great intense is what I like, yeah. Promise this is not a fad, it's so much more than hype, yeah. I've been cracking packs since the time that I could write back. I was just a kid saving quarters on his nightstand just to pull another